Hockey will return to Central Florida when the Orlando Solar Bears hit the ice at the Amway Center this fall. Before the puck drops, we'll talk to Bob Ohrablo of Orlando Pro Hockey Operations about the connection among sports, business, and community. Next on UCF Metro Center Outlook.
This program is made possible by funding from the UCF Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, where government leaders, business executives, and academic experts come together to discuss major issues facing the state of Florida.
Hello everyone, welcome to UCF Metro Center Outlook. I'm Diane Trees, Director of the UCF Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, and your host for Metro Center Outlook. With nearly 30 years of sports marketing experience under his belt, Bob Ohrablo, Managing Partner and Chief Operating Officer for the Orlando Solar Bears, played a key role in bringing professional hockey back to Central Florida. He joins us today to discuss the high hopes for hockey's return and the value of sports to communities. But first, let's take a look at what hockey fans can expect to see when the Solar Bears face off this fall.
Boisvert knocked the puck down. In for Simon on his backhand. Now shuffles it into the goal. He scores!
In 1995, the city of Orlando was introduced to the fast-paced, hard-hitting world of professional hockey. The Orlando Solar Bears were an instant hit with the old and new hockey fans as they quickly grew into a power player in the International Hockey League.
Richards sends it in on the left side circle to Vasilyevs. Dumped it low, both face, centers it. They score! Mason wraps it in!
During their time in the IHL, the Solar Bears made it to 3 Turner Cup finals. In their final season in 2001, the O-Bears won it all, defeating the Chicago Wolves in 5 games to capture the Turner Cup. And yes, it was official. Orlando was more than just an NBA city. Orlando was a hockey town.
Look at this crowd. This is what it's all about right here. I'm telling you right now, this group of people is unbelievable. It's a great hockey town.
Much to the dismay of hockey fans in Orlando, the IHL folded after the 2001 season and the Solar Bears franchise went into hibernation. But that underlying reality that Orlando was a great hockey town could not be ignored forever. With a beautiful new arena to call home, it was announced late last year that hockey is back. Orlando is getting a team in the East Coast Hockey League, and to make the news even more exciting, the new team will go by the old name. Yes, the Orlando Solar Bears are out of hibernation.
We had a very successful NHL preseason game in September between the Lightning and the Blues. It brought more than 10,000, I'd say, fanatical fans that are in love with hockey. And now I'm pleased to not bring just a hockey game to Orlando, but a home team.
Plans are moving forward rapidly now as the Solar Bears recently announced they will be an affiliate of the NHL's Minnesota Wild, as well as the AHL's Houston Aeros. And then the next big step, the O-Bears named NHL veteran Drake Berehowski as the team's new head coach. The original Solar Bears were a huge success, and the fans are ready for more of the same as the new Solar Bears begin play this fall at the Amway Arena. Their home opener is set for Saturday, October the 20th against the defending ECHL champs and intrastate rivals, the Florida Everblades.
Joining me now is Bob Ohrablo, Managing Partner and COO for Orlando Pro Hockey Operations. Bob, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, Dan. It's great to be here.
I am so excited to have hockey back into town. What is it about Orlando that makes it such an ideal location for the sport?
This is not a non-traditional hockey market. You know, when the Solar Bears were here 10 years ago, they did very, very well. They never left town because of lack of support. They left town because the league they were playing in folded after they won the championship. And people in Orlando are from all over, Northeast, Midwest, Canada. So they grew up with hockey, and we're just thrilled to be able to bring pro hockey back at a really high level.
You talked about the IHL, the former league with the original Solar Bear team, folded in 2001. What went wrong with that, and what aspects for success do you see now with the ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League?
Yes. Good question. We were involved in the IHL as well. Jason Siegel, my partner, and I ran the Phoenix team in the IHL. And we had a great league. It got a little bit out of control what the players were being paid. And when you're starting to, you want to keep your tickets family affordable in price, but you start to pay players $200,000, $250,000 a year to play in minor league hockey. The economics just wasn't there. Our revenues were going up 30, 35% a year. Our expenses were going up 60% a year. So the revenue just wasn't, or the economics the model was wrong. With the ECHL, we saw a league that's celebrating its 25th anniversary, that has a hard salary cap, and is truly committed to developing players for the National Hockey League. So you're not going to find a guy in the ECHL that's going to be making $200,000 a year, and therefore we can price our tickets accordingly. So it's a strong, solid, and proven economic model that the ECHL offered us.
You talked about this not being a non-traditional market. We have the Lightning in Tampa. Miami has the Panthers. With the Solar Bears back here, what is it about the Sunshine State, though, that draws or attracts such loyal fans?
It's the coolest place to be during the during the winter. You know, some of us we all moved down here for the weather to Florida. I moved here 12 years ago, and you know, but that 75-degree day, sometime in December, you want to make it feel like you're back home. So you come into the hockey rink where it's 40 degrees and you're having a good time. But seriously, when you leave a place that you grew up in, you want to bring as many things with you as possible. And hockey is one of the things that a lot of people in Orlando, Miami, Tampa.
I bring it from Pittsburgh.
You bring it from Pittsburgh. I bring it from New York, where I grew up. You want to be able to have those things around you. And the one thing that's been missing here for the last 10 years has been professional hockey. It's
a great game. You and your partners have collectively over 40 years of sports experience together.
Now you're giving my age.
Talk us through the process, though, of building an ownership of a team and then bringing it into a city.
I talk to students all the time, and you're right, Jason Siegel and myself have over 40 years of experience, but when you have a dream, you have to pursue the dream. And our dream was, for those 40 plus years, we were working for an ownership group, or we were working for a group, a team that we did not own. Our dream was always to own our own team. And Orlando's always been on our radar because we saw the support, when we were in the IHL, we saw the support that the Solar Bears got. And when we found out that the old arena wasn't going to be there anymore, we were hoping that the new arena would have ice capabilities.
So you had your eye out on Orlando a long time ago.
We've been looking at Orlando for a long time. We got serious about it about a year and a half ago when we talked to Alan Johnson from Orlando Venues and found out that the Amway Center would indeed be retrofitted for hockey from the start, which is really a progressive thinking by the city and the planners.
Well, I know that Alex Martins, CEO of the Magic, has said that if it weren't for the Amway Arena, Orlando would not have been selected for the NBA All-Star Game this past February. So I was wondering, how much of a factor did that play in to you bringing hockey back to here?
Well, I think we would have put it in the arena, the older building as well, because it's the market that attracted us. But the second I walked into the Amway Center, I was like, "Holy cow! this place is a palace." I mean, so it just encouraged us more. Then
so we could call it the Amway Palace now. Huh?
It could be very easily. They didn't miss a beat in building that building, and that's a great thing for the people that live here and get to enjoy it on a regular basis. The biggest thing with was when we went to see the Tampa Bay St. Louis NHL game. The three of us, partners of the Solar Bears, were still putting this all together and still negotiating our lease with the city, but we wanted to see what kind of response professional hockey would get. And
that was a preseason game.
That was a preseason game, meant absolutely nothing in the standings, a Wednesday night, and there were over 12,000 people in the building. And when we walked the concourse during the intermissions, we saw so many Solar Bear jerseys and Solar Bear fans that we just said, you know what, we're making the right decision. So that night, we literally finished our lease negotiations.
When you say Solar Bear, the outfits and that, why did you choose to use the Solar Bear brand again? It's a new team, a new time. What kept the Solar Bears?
We think it's the greatest name in pro sports.
I do too, but
it's such a great play. The Magic, when the DeVos family and the Magic owned the Solar Bears, they did such a great job at developing the brand, and so strong that 10 years after the team disappeared, there was still tons of Solar Bear fans. So it wouldn't make any sense to come in and try to rebrand hockey in Orlando. So our goal was to really drive off of that name, and it's been a good call.
Well, you said before that the reason the Solar Bears are back is because of the fans. What are your plans for outreach to attract new hockey fans and to re-engage, if it's necessary, the ones that are already here?
Re-engaging was great. You know, the second we announced the Solar Bears name and the fact that pro hockey was coming back, they found us, and we're thrilled to have them. They've been active. We did a open house I guess a couple of weeks ago, and fans just stormed the building. A lot of them had never been in the Amway Center before. We had people putting season ticket deposits down that were asking for their old seats. And we had to explain to them, it's a different arena. Your old seats has just been blown up, you know, or imploded. But so we really, to get new fans though, be very involved in the community. You know, we think hockey's a very exciting game, and all you have to do is come to the game once. You know, you've been to plenty of hockey games. There's probably, at least in my humble opinion, no sport that offers an entertainment value like professional hockey does. It's nonstop action.
So such a fast-paced sport.
It's fast-paced. You don't have to know all the rules and the intricacies of the game to enjoy it. You know, you can go and yell and scream at the other team or the referees, whatever you want to do.
Icing is still a little bit shady there.
It is, and we're going to try to point out icing. Offside still gets people a little confused. The pro hockey has made it easier. There used to be 2 different kinds of offsides. Now there's only one because you can do the 2-line pass. You know, it'll be an education process to get new fans in, but we also feel that there were a lot of Solar Bear fans. There are also a lot of people that have moved here in the 10 years that the Solar Bears have not been here that want to see pro hockey, and they're finding us as well.
Hockey is wildly popular in Canada and parts of Europe and that. Have you any plans for outreach for international visitors here?
Definitely. I mean, that's one of the things that that really attracted us to Orlando was the number of visitors, 52 million a year, I think it is.
54 million
54
now.
million, okay, all right. Have to revise our business plan. But and where they come from, you know, Ontario, Canada, from the Northeast, the upper Midwest, that's all hockey markets. So the thing that we're working closely with a lot of different organizations here in Orlando to make sure we reach those visitors and show them that, you know, not only are the Solar Bears here, but the development team for their favorite NHL team may be at the Amway Center playing against us.
Right.
Yeah.
Any thoughts of tapping into sports tourism? Maybe some packages with hockey tickets and featuring the players and some theme park tickets, or any options like that?
Yes, and we're working on all those things now with Visit Orlando and several other organizations that you know, are excited to have us here and are coming to us and asking us. We're working very closely with the Sports Commission as well, you know, to develop that kind of thing and use the Solar Bears. If we can help draw and make it, you know, 54.3 million fans, visitors, that would be wonderful.
You have 36 home games scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully there'll be some playoff games as well. Talk a little bit about the economic impact that those 36 home games will have in the downtown area.
I think it has economic impact in a lot of areas. First of all, you know, the Amway Center is a beautiful building. You know, the Magic do very well there. The Predators do well as well. The concerts and shows, and now we're adding a block of 36 dates to the building, which is huge. all of the part-time employees at the building, there's a chance for more hours. All of the sales tax that comes in through the building, the fees that our ticket buyers pay, all help finance the building. So that in that sense, it helps protect the investment the city made.
Right.
And then bringing 75, 8,500, sometimes 10,000 people to downtown Orlando, will be great, because hockey fans are passionate people. They're younger adults for the most part. They're not going to leave the arena and go straight home, I can tell you that.
Well, I know the Orlando Business Journal had actually projected some figures, and conservatively, they were saying probably 5.4 million annually just to begin with. Now, your business plan doesn't predict or expect to be profitable for the first year. How will your team develop into being profitable? When do you expect that?
Well, we're looking at this year now as really our development year. We're spending a lot of money to make sure that the Solar Bears are here, and we never looked at the Solar Bears as, let's do 1 or 2 years and out. We're looking at them as a long-term investment. So we capitalized ourselves very well, so that this year we're spending and spending, and there's really no revenue coming in. We don't have any games.
October, I believe, is your first game.
So we start in October. And we're capitalized for 2 or 3 years and anything we do make, we want to pump back into the team to make it even more successful.
So you have a sound strategy and business plan already in place for that.
There's a 3, a 5, and a 10-year plan for the Solar Bears.
Now, to be a sports town, you have to have facilities, and you have to have a community that is willing to invest, to make some investments. Do you think that we're there yet in Orlando, or are we still growing into that role?
Oh no, I think we're there. I think we're there. A team looks for 2 major sources of revenue. One is ticket sales, and 2 is sponsorship sales. And in both cases, this is a interesting market in terms of. I was in South Florida for a long time, and South Florida is very fragmented. Orlando seems to really get behind sports teams. They've
fragmented in the way they back different sports or interests, or?
No, fragmented in a way that sports is just part of the whole equation. You're from Pittsburgh, I'm from New York, and corporations spend a lot of money on sports.
It's not fragmented.
It's not fragmented at all. No one ever accused the Steelers of fragmenting the market, but here they really seem to get, if you offer something that is well thought out, well planned, they really seem to get behind it. I still think that this city is very, very fortunate to have the Orlando Magic and an ownership group like the DeVos family and Alex Martin's running the day-to-day, because it's a team that is well supported, but it also gives back to the community. And that's the same model that we're operating the Solar Bears on. We are this city's professional sports franchise, and we want to be as involved in the marketplace as we can possibly be.
When you mentioned Alex Martins and Mayor Dyer, they have been key players in the collaborative effort to bring hockey back here. How will you be working with the City of Orlando, the Magic, and the Amway Arena people to promote hockey?
We're already doing a lot of, with the Magic season that just ended, we were at the games. We unveiled our logo at a Magic Bulls game. Right at center court. We have a slapshot cage that has been at the Fan Fest. We have tables that have been set up at Magic games. Working through the mayor's office, the mayor's been very, very vocal in his support of the team, attending and hosting our press conferences and things like that. So we feel that without Mayor Dyer and without Alex Martins, we would not be sitting here today having this conversation. I can safely say that.
So you're seeing synergy among different sporting organizations. One of the things for building a sports town, you do need the strategy and I think the coordination of multiple sports. You need an understanding of the economic impact. How important, though, is it for the community and business support to develop, even in Orlando, to make it a sports destination?
It's very important, you know, and I know the campaign that's going on now to renovate the Citrus Bowl. You know, Orlando's a city that that thrives on tourism, and you know, the Citrus Bowl hosts not just one but two bowl games, and most cities can't say that. I think Phoenix might be the only other city that can say that. You know, so those things drive tourism. Maybe even more than bringing in, you know, a company with 200 or 300 jobs do.
Well, we do have
it's big hits.
the college sports. We have the bowl games. We have Disney's Wide World of Sports.
Yes.
So we are
complex.
building a foundation for
Yep.
a sports city. How will hockey contribute to that?
Just be another piece of the puzzle, you know.
Another professional sport.
Another professional sports team that's here for, you know, a good chunk of the year. I mean, our season extends almost 7 months, and hopefully 8 or 9. But you know, I think we're just another piece of a puzzle that's a part of a much bigger picture.
Sports crosses diversity, gender, age. It's a great equalizer with things. How do you see, beyond the entertainment value, beyond the economic, what else does sports contribute to the community?
It contributes a feeling of cohesiveness. You know, and again, from being from Pittsburgh, you know that on Steelers Sunday,
I dress up.
You dress up, and there's no longer any separate groups in Pittsburgh. Everybody's a Steelers fan, you know, and I've seen that to a good degree here with the Magic, you know. The Magic last season had a very interesting season with the NBA and everything else, but despite all those problems, people came to the games and they were excited about the games. They were excited about the team, and there was a real camaraderie among people. You know, you're sitting next to someone at the Amway Center for an event that you don't know, and now all of a sudden you become best friends. So it really does develop a sense of cohesiveness. It also develops an identity for a city. You know, think about Pittsburgh. The first thing that comes to mind is Steelers. You know,
Or the Penguins.
It's not what major industries there, or you know, what great hospitals are there, and there are great hospitals and industries in Pittsburgh, but it's the Steelers or the Penguins. You know, so it really brings cohesiveness and an identity to a city.
How important then, when you talk about the branding and the cohesiveness and that, how important is the role for merchandise in that, in branding the team and branding even the city?
Yeah, that's your team colors. That's, you know.
And will you have merchandise available?
Oh yes, yes. We have some on our website now, OrlandoSolarBearsHockey.com. And as we get closer to the season, that offering will grow in terms of flexibility and different items. But yeah, we want to paint the town purple. That's our goal. You know, it's all about the purple.
You said that you want to integrate this team into the community, and I know the original Solar Bear team was very actively involved.
Yes.
What do you have in mind? What are some of your plans?
We want to get our players out. You know, the hockey players are usually great kids, and our guys will be, you know, anywhere from 20 to 25, 26 years old. They're great kids. They come from, you know, smaller towns, and they have a lot of time on their hands, and we want to use that time constructively, both in terms of for the community, getting them to schools, putting together some programs with Orange County schools and Seminole County schools, which we've already started doing, getting them to different corporations that support us so their employees can meet them. You know, the one problem with hockey players is that when they're on the ice, they all look the same. They have so much protective equipment and everything else.
No, their
they all
hair's
look the
out in
same.
the back. You can tell.
The hair's out the back sometimes. I give you that, but for the most part, it's hard to tell the difference. But they have faces and they have stories, and they have great stories in some occasions. So our goal is to get them out into community so that people will see who these guys are, and that they're good kids, and you know, their goal is to play for an NHL team someday. And this is the start of that journey for them. Many of them have come out of Division I schools or Canadian juniors, and this is going to be huge for them.
Will they be working with any of the ice hockey, the youth leagues?
Very much so, very much so. We purposely embedded ourselves as an organization at RDV. Well, it's a great facility. It's going to be our official practice rink. It's also the home of our offices. We have our administrative offices there. And that's so that we stay close to the youth hockey as much as possible. But we've also reached out. We've reached out to Rockledge, we've reached out to Daytona, and we're going to be working with them as well. Jacksonville has reached out to us, so we really want to become the catalyst to grow youth hockey, whether it's ice hockey or street hockey, as much as possible. Any
possible affiliations with UCF? We have an ice club hockey team that practices out of RDB.
Yes, they do. They play their games there too. Yes, we've had conversations with UCF team. We would love to get them to play a few games prior to ours at the Amway Center, which would be huge for those kids, to play at a facility like that.
So you have an array of ages that you've already planned to get your players out.
And the adult leagues. This, unlike South Florida, where youth hockey was pretty big, the adult league, there are a lot of adults that here are playing hockey, and we've reached out to them as well.
Yes, there's a lot of adult leagues.
We've reached out to them as well.
Yes.
So the idea is to really, especially focusing on the youth hockey, is to really grow that. And the Solar Bears had a huge impact on the number of kids playing youth hockey. That dwindled a bit when the Solar Bears left, and now we're back. So you know what? It's time that it grows again, starts going in the other direction.
You have said about how important it is for the branding, and that it can make a huge identity element for a city to have. How do you think hockey will leave its mark on Orlando?
Hockey will leave its mark in the fact that it will be a stable team. Orlando's had several teams go in and out, lacrosse and sports like that. B, it will generate some good for the community. That's a major thing for us. I mean, as soon as we got in town, we got involved on different boards and organizations because we truly believe that teams should give back to the community. We've always run any team that Jason and I have ever run strongly believes in that. And B, we just want people to have fun. I mean, the bottom line of hockey is you come down and you get your frustrations out, you yell at the other team.
I want to play.
and listen, you can skate, right?
It's a great sport.
We'll get you up there.
Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks a lot. It's been great. I appreciate it.
I look forward to attending the games.
And we look forward to seeing you there and having you as back in I want to see you in a hockey jersey.
You will, definitely you will. I've been talking about the contributions hockey and other sports bring to Central Florida with Bob Ohrablo of Orlando Pro Hockey Operations. Thank you for tuning in to UCF Metro Center Outlook. Until next time, I'm Diane Trees.
This program was made possible by funding from the Metropolitan Center for Regional Studies, where government leaders, business executives, and academic experts come together to discuss major issues facing the state of Florida.